Welcome back, everybody. Hot mic off and rolling here on this Thursday morning. You know what? On baseball opening day, when it's like 35 degrees outside and like 20-mile-per-hour wind, why wouldn't we talk either baseball or golf on our show? I mentioned it earlier on when we were setting up our guest lineup. It was quite the week for the Bison women's golf team, a record-setting week, including the lowest individual 54-hole score in program history. Turned in by our next guest, who I've had the chance to watch golf over the last few years, and we got a few more times to do it before her collegiate career is over. We welcome on Bison senior Madi Hicks to the show after, I mentioned, rounds of 67, 69, 69 to finish in second out in Arizona earlier this week. First off, congratulations. That's unbelievable playing. Second, how much does it stink to be back here after you were playing in 95-degree weather earlier this week?
Yeah, I know. Thank you. It was hot one. It was crazy hot. We were even putting up umbrellas just so we would block out some of the sun. It was that hot. I gotta say, it definitely feels good to be back in a little bit of colder weather for sure.
All right, so you and I were visiting off air here. This is a golf course. This was the first time you guys had seen it? What felt right? Like, why did it suit you so well to play as well as you did?
Yeah, I think a big thing for our team was our previous 3 tournaments this spring have been at some difficult courses or in some difficult conditions. So when we played the practice round, we knew that this course was going to be a little more scoreable than what we've seen this spring so far. So we were just super excited to get out there and have more opportunities to get some birdies, just more opportunities to score. And I think that fit our team's eye a little bit, just for it to not be as difficult conditions as we've been playing in this spring.
Well, when you're constantly dealing with wind, I mean, everything, when you don't have it, I'm sure that it's got to feel great, right?
Yes. Yeah. It was weird to not have to like club up 2 or something like that.
You shot 67 in the opening round. Describe that, and what was that like as a guy who never was going to break 70, describe when you shoot 67. What's that like?
Yeah, it was super cool. It was a fun day. It was one of those days where, especially my iron game, it felt really good, and I knew and was pretty confident stepping up to those shots, and was able to get some of those shots within 15 feet, just have good looks for birdie, and it happened to be a day where the putter was rolling in as well. So that was nice. And then their par 5s, a couple of them, or I'd say maybe over half or about half were reachable for us. We could get there in 2. So I put myself in some pretty good positions on those par 5s and had even a couple of eagle looks and got some birdies on that, which was nice.
Maddie, are you following what everybody else is doing as well? I know you're in the submarine and you're focusing on your game, but are you seeing what your teammates are doing and everybody else is playing really well?
No, I am not a scoreboard checker. No. I only look at the scoreboard after the day's done, but we're playing and I can see my teammates around on the hole over or in front of me, behind me, just around, and we give signs to each other and wave and kind of just give each other encouragement. So I knew it felt like the vibes were high when the coaches would come around and just looking at the girls. So I knew that we'd probably all have fun out there playing at this course versus some of the tougher conditions and courses we've been in.
All right, so when you got done on the first round and see that, was it 2 other, or yourself and I think Cora shot 69 as well. When you have that, 2 players breaking 70, you got to be feeling, wow, this everything went pretty well today.
Yeah, it did. It was cool. It was amazing to see those scores and kind of build off that into the next 2 rounds. It was awesome.
I'll ask, have you had 3 rounds in the 60s before, or has this been a while since it happened?
This is the first time. Yeah, I've the first time having one tournament with all 3 rounds in the 60s.
What is that feeling like? You just did. You got only a few events left to do this. You got to be over the moon.
Yeah. Oh, it was very cool. It was in the previous weeks. There's just been something that hasn't necessarily clicked with the rest of the game in those tournaments. So to be able to kind of have the game all come together at once was really cool. And playing in Arizona, we play in Arizona again in a couple weeks, and then conference in Arizona after that. So it was cool for all of us to get into some desert golf and kind of get used to the courses that we'll see coming this next month and for conference as well.
Are you finished, I believe, with an eagle? Is that like the ultimate slam dunk and get out of there and say, I can't play any better than this?
Yeah, that was the perfect ending to the tournament for sure. I kind of blacked out on the green, so it was a cool finish.
So did you see that go in and then after that went nuts, or take us through the last hole?
Yeah, so last hole's a par five. It's if you hit a pretty good tee shot, it's definitely reachable. And I got my tee shot kind of overdrew it a little bit and it rolled a while on the hard ground there. So ended up hitting a 6-iron in, and I actually use a left pin. So I aimed middle of the green, just, play it safe. Let's get it somewhere up there. And I just pushed it a tad, hit it well, but it was going right at the pin. And I thought, that's going to be pretty good. I couldn't see it though from where I was hitting.
Yeah.
So then when I got up there, I saw it was about 8 feet just short of the pin and was able to roll it in.
Is that when you run up to the green and like, holy cow, that's even better than I could have thought?
Yeah, it was one of those moments where it's like, is that my ball? I don't think it can be. I think it's someone else's.
For people that don't know, give us the backstory of your recruitment. How NDSU came in. Were you aware? How for Coach Johnson, what he sold you on coming to Fargo?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say throughout the recruiting process, something that was super cool was the team, the makeup of the team before my freshman year was quite a few Minnesotan people.
Yeah.
So throughout the summer tournaments and just youth golf, I knew a lot of those girls who were already on the team and knew a lot of girls who had been recruited by NDSU. And I just kept hearing great things. So I knew that I had to look there. And then once I got in contact with Coach, it was a good relationship. And I knew that playing for him would be really cool. And in the end, when I came and visited, I just knew that this was going to be the right spot.
Knowing full well how tough it is to golf in the upper Midwest, I'll just say it, why are you guys tougher? Why are upper Midwestern golfers just tougher than everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, we're basically sometimes playing in snow, so I think that gives us a little bit of toughness there. But I think what's cool about playing more so in the upper Midwest, like we don't get to play year round,
Yeah.
which a lot of the southern schools do. But when we practice inside, it's such a focused practice. We know when we do get outside, it's really cool and we can see, what's working, what's maybe not working as well. And when we come back inside, we can kind of focus our practices in on these drills and what will translate to outside when we get there.
I don't think people know, Maddie, that you guys hit inside the indoor practice facility where the Bison play football.
Yeah.
Can you rip it as far? Like, describe hitting it inside there.
Yes. Oh, it's cool. It's such a good facility. We have golf mats that we roll back to the 20-yard line, and then we hit the long way so we can see our golf ball fly for about 80 yards. And there's some square sections on the back wall that we play a lot of games and kind of aim at those, try to hit it within there. And then the beams on the roof, we also play with that. So it's super fun. And we have 4 golf nets, so we can hit kind of the short wedges in there. And we bring the buckets in as well and try to hit the balls in there.
How many people actually know about the indoor practice, the putting green inside the shack? Like, I found out about it. I had no idea it was there a few years ago. How many people actually know that it's there?
I honestly don't think a lot of people do. Throughout my time here at NDSU, there's been quite a few times where it's like, wait, there's like there's a third floor of the shack. Yes. Like there's a golf thing up there. So yeah, and when people come see it, they're like, oh, this is pretty sweet. Like you guys basically have your own floor. Yeah, it's a hidden gem. We love it up there.
I mentioned this. You're coming near the end of the road here. Summer League Championships coming up in a few weeks. Describe what this has been like to be able to play Division I golf.
Oh man, it's been the greatest blessing. It's been really cool. To be able to say, was a student athlete here at NDSU is super cool, and also to do it at the Division I level has been very cool as well. And kind of the time of being here, we've seen a lot of things happen with the NCAA, and just be able to be an athlete the same time as all these new things happening has been super cool. So I can't believe it's been almost 4 years, but I wouldn't trade my time here for anything. So we're looking forward to kind of continuing our Arizona stretch and finishing it out strong at Summit League.
That was my next question. You got some momentum here. Tell me about what you can do here next month of the Summit League Championships. You're going back to Arizona, as you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this Arizona stretch is going to be huge for us to see desert golf for basically the last month and a half of our season. And I think this tournament was huge for us, a lot of our girls, to see some good scores and kind of get that confidence rolling again at the course we just played. And yeah, I think it's going to be really fun come end of April, and that we have a great opportunity, and that we're just going to keep building off some really cool things we've been doing.
I've had a chance. I've known Avery Bartell since she was probably like in 7th grade, and she's coming off a really good week as well. What is it that maybe you'd love to tell a younger yourself when you came out of high school about what the jump is from high school golf to Division I golf?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just get to know your teammates, be a teammate first. I think it could be easy to come in just wanting to do so well on the golf side that you might forego or forget some of those teammate aspect things. So I would just say get within the team, hang out with them, become close with them first. I think that helped me a lot. Our team was really close freshman year and continues to be. So that helped a lot. And as far as the golf stuff, I mean, it's definitely different playing on your high school team, coming to NDSU, a Division I program, but coach recruited you for a reason. You have the game to be here, and just kind of trust it and just work hard, I would say.
How I have it. Make sure I correct me if I'm wrong on this. You were a hooper. How good of a basketball player were you in the old days at Chanhassen?
Oh goodness. Yep, played some basketball. I would say my forte was shooting. I was mainly staying behind the 3-point line, and that was kind of my thing. But we had a really good player who ended up playing Division I basketball, so I also just passed to her a lot. It was fun.
I always ask golfers this to wrap up interviews. You have one golf club to play an entire hole. What's the club you would pick?
That's a good question. I would say, I think I'm going to go a 7-iron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you
in the middle of the bag?
Have you putted with a 7-iron? Have you done that before?
For fun, maybe when on the green. I honestly don't know if I've putted with a 7-iron. I putted with a wedge, but 7-iron should be a little better, a little less loft.
I'll have one last bonus one. What's the worst weather you ever played in? And was it here in Fargo?
Ooh, let's see. The worst weather. Oh, okay. No, it was our Omaha tournament last spring.
Okay.
We started the day, and it was the real field was below freezing. It was like 31 degrees. And it was so bad that when we were putting before the round, you'd hit one putt and have to rest for 30 seconds so your hands could warm up again, and you could hit another putt. It was crazy. It was so cold.
Actually,
on top of it, it was 40-mile-per-hour winds.
Of course, right.
30. Yeah.
Jeez. I lied. I had one more. Can you confirm my belief that left-handed golfers are it's the most perfect swing? It's beautiful. Why is it with lefties it looks so much better than right-handers?
Oh my! I think it's just because it's new. It's kind of like a lefty jump shot in basketball. Those just for some reason look pretty cool, but I think it's just different, and it's kind of cool to see something different every once in a while.
It looks better. It does. A left-handed golf swing, a left-handed baseball or softball, just everything looks better about it. And certainly looked pretty good for you this week. Thanks so much for doing this. Congratulations on 3 great rounds, and good luck next month at the Summer League Championship, okay?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Madi Hicks joining us, Bison senior golfer, after a record-setting week out in Arizona. Again, rounds again. Let me read this off because this was ridiculous what she shot for her 3 days. Started with 67, 69, 69. Lowest score ever over 3 days in Bison school history, over 54 holes. That's pretty good considering Amy Olsen played at NDSU. She's got that record now. It is Madi Hicks to herself. Appreciate the time. Let's break. We come back. Speaking of another record, if you missed it last night at the Minnesota State basketball tournament, incoming Bison football player Deron Russell put on a show. We'll show you that when we wrap up Hot Mike, Hour 1, right after this.